你两个做一个大水个桥，甲我迄种冲动。
The kinds of things life throws at you. I never knew I'd feel so safe in your arms.
爱左转吗？
You're all I need. It wasn't long before I knew that I fell for you and you had my heart. As fast as the seasons changed, my heart was stolen. Parts of me that were broken found love. And no amount of distance can change how I'm feeling. 'Cause I know this is real. I'm so happy that you're mine. Nothing in this world can make me feel the way that you do. Feels like I'm dancing on moonlight. Of all the stars at night, none of them can shine as bright as you do. They can't compare to your light. Thousands of miles between, still couldn't stop us. Just the thought of your love was enough. It's hard to imagine life without you in it. Even if at a distance, I'm still happier. Baby, won't you listen when
啊，我你迄进前迄是毋是长期拢伫这个国小迄落空投食物甲直升机伫遮？
应该是。
你是怎样那马下？
When I see you smile, I'm unafraid to grow up. 'Cause with you the future seems so bright. Won't you stay here by my side?
你讲坐一空啊，这边敢若较老人呢。是拢起组合物很大啊。
口溜滑梯啊，就
向左转，然后向右转，
啊，我当时溜滑梯就是啊，旋转
然
楼梯。
后向左转，
这应该拢江户起组合物
向左
紧张啊，嘛好了啊，
然后
嘛是办迄啊，原住民迄
活动啊。
迄落跨年啊，啊王洪恩有来啊，
那马下呢？
系啊
你，哪在？
也有嗰个啊，那个海报啊，
西北，然
大家看都在楼梯
后向左转，转，
明明缅甸这间，
欢乐的感觉。肯定较较老人呢，甲拄海边比的。
明明缅甸，
都未来啊，
活着，
应该是迄落吧。 跨年大家拢休困，伊跨年嘛是因原住民咧过年啊，因是咧过，因信咧基督教拢过迄国历的啊。
今年我有过年啊嘞。
然后
条
向左
桥通过
转。
迄边的。
这山都爱下啊，山都爱枯啊。啊，所以咱一定是讲出来的。
所以这是要出去的路，
啊？
这条是要出去的路。
在
跟路这边
500公尺处向右
嘿
转，，
去入面搁一区，
啊，所以你即若是咱未经过的路，还是你专工要开入去？
开入去啊，等下该开出来啦。
哦，
伊内面搁有一区啊。
你讲一区原住民部落，
系啊，啊拢一间迄姐妹面店啊，大家拢会去遐食姐妹小吃。
目的地在您的左手边。
听到吗？听到吗？会吗？
这里要出名。
右方向终点到的，这样吗？那是已经，
这个
太好笑了吧？你啊，网友啊，不是吗？啊，就是有代志是不是啊？你甲我讲一下哈。
真正是。过来走。
你要搁开鱼吗？无啊吧？
无啊啦，这底啊，无路啊。
时间安尼，你今日有法度较肯定，互咱比。
对啦。
哦，你安尼会开吗？你要开过啊？你是较晚一节哦，我搁开过来就恐怖。嘎舅，你不要再开过来我这边了啦！妈的嘞！
你少年仔会开来遮？
阿仔，我就问你，有啥你会开来遮？
Alright, this is a song that I wrote about falling too fast, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
哦，总是用起来遮。
I don't wanna lose
最近
my ground,
点嘛遮？
so you catch me not
几代？
responding. And I press my lips together so you don't find
还
any
有，
answer. I'm on my phone
还有，
30,
大概拢红白的。啊，这做成猫头鹰呢，下头。
cause I fall too fast and lose myself, and I want this to last. My friends, they see the patterns. I say it's different, but it's only faster. How do I tell them?
梅花，
对啊，梅花。
I don't wanna lose my grounding, so you catch me not responding. And I press my lips together so you don't find any answers. I'm on my phone 6:30. Can't be texting you this early.
小林村，
Cause I fall too fast.
可能今天再过来的甲仙啊，过来岐山，
My
山地
friends,
门。
they see the patterns. I say it's different, but it's only faster. How do I tell them that you're the exception without repeating or just second guessing? 4 weeks in, I know I'm sinking. Yeah, I'm falling, yeah, I'm deep in. You're not giving me a reason. Yeah, I'm falling, yeah, I'm deep in. So I'm thinking that we should end it before going sabotage it. And we weren't even together, so I don't need any closure. But I've been on my phone 6:30. Can't be texting you this early. But I fell too fast and lost myself, and I just want you back. I don't wanna lose my grounding, so you catch me not responding. And I press my lips together so you don't find any answers. I've been on my phone 6:30. Can't be texting you this early. Cause I fall too fast and lose myself, and I want this to last. I've been out of my head, can't get out of bed. Too much on my brain, but got it good, can't complain. It's like I'm losing my mind, and time's hard to find. What's a girl gotta do to catch a break up? When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. 'Cause I was crying yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, I'm feeling okay. Nothing's in my way. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I put a dress on today, I don't care what you say. And I'm ignoring my phone, so don't try to reach me. I can't do nothing for you, so don't ask, I ain't coming through. 'Cause I'm running away to my own world, that's where I'll stay. When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. 'Cause I was crying yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, I'm feeling okay. Nothing's in my way. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Nothing ever stays the same. There's always room for better days. Now I know how to live life with a smile on my face. Nothing ever stays the same. There's always room for better days. I was crying yesterday, but look at me now.
哎，OK，家庭大小，
有得吗？
唔是啊，你跪下就倒来就倒来。
向右转，
边界啊。哦，家庭的。